So those 26 million tests we were talking about, were those tests under the old antiquated system? And
Yes.
now, so are we still even using those 27 million tests, or have we just completely moved on to the point
The
of
answer
care
is
tests?
yes, now through the new system.
Even today, which is, I have to say, coming out of laboratories and developed tests and worked on vaccines and then gone to the field to actually combat epidemics, it is disappointing to me right now that we have about 500,000 capacity of Abbott tests that are not being utilized. So they are out, they're in the States, they're not being run and not utilized. So now we have to figure out, how do we create awareness? Because sometimes when you put an early platform out, like our first platform out when the high speed was Roche, so you get that out, people get dependent on that and then don't see that there's availability of other tests. So right now, there's over 500,000 tests sitting, capacity, that are not being utilized. So we're trying to figure out, how do we inform states about where these all are? How do we work through every laboratory association so they're aware? And how do we raise awareness so people know that there's point of care, there's Thermo Fisher, there's Abbott testing, and there's Roche. And if you add those together, that's millions of tests a week.
They're not being reported.
And they're not, and so those are the,
But they're not being reported.
or they're not even being used. So that's what's really, so that's what we're working on.
What's the reason they're being used?
Because when people get used to a single platform, they keep sending it back to that lab. So it's getting in a queue to wait to get on a Roche machine rather than being moved to this other lab that may have Abbott capacity, because they're all in different laboratories. And so I think, well, actually, Admiral Giroir is figuring it out to really create some kind of visual so that every governor and every health commissioner can see all of their capacity in their countries, in their states, county by county, so that they know where the tests are. So we pushed a lot of tests out, but they're not all being utilized.
And it's up to the people, and they don't send them back. They use them, they don't send them back. And Doctor, go ahead, please.
No, Dr. Birx explained it very, very well. I just want to get back, John, to your question. It's a logical question. When you look at the number, you want to know what the demography is going to be. This is a number that we need to anticipate, but we don't necessarily have to accept it as being inevitable. And that's getting back to what I'm saying about, we can influence this to a varying degrees. And if we influence it to the maximum, we don't have to accept that. That's something we need to anticipate. But I want to do, not I, all of us want to do much, much better than that.